as he starts a great rhyme display in verse 1 with this. I sit back with this pack of zigzags and this bag of this weed. It gives me the stuff needed to be the most meanest MC on this earth. And since birth, I've been cursed with this curse to just curse and just blurt this berserk and bizarre ish that works. And it sells and it helps in itself to relieve all this tension, dispensing these sentences. Wow. So remember what I said about Eminem's style of rap, right? It's fundamental. That's why it works so well here. I mean, if you're an aspiring MC, this is the kind of flow you practice. Again, y'all, you know me by now. It took every bit of me to not rap that and actually recite that for you. Like, because it's one of those things you can really drill yourself on that kind of rap and like develop your voice, if that makes sense, right? Train your voice to rap this way so you can master other styles. The easier styles get even easier when you master the more complex, harder styles like these, where you really got to pay attention to breath control and enunciation and pauses, all those things. You got to train your voice to not stumble over these lines that might cause tongue twisters, right? Like this is MC work right here. And say what you want about Eminem's rapping style, but this stuff right here is textbook. It's textbook. Look at the amount of rhymes he displays. And if you watched the Art of Rap documentary that dropped what was it, like 2012, 2013, something like that? Eminem was clear about his writing process and how he sees words as puzzles. And I mentioned that earlier, right? He has an end picture in mind every time he raps. And he always loves trying to find ways to sandwich words and schemes together. So obviously you can imagine M like, okay, what are all possible outcomes for the word back? Right? Okay, you know what? Let me rhyme the bass sound and then flip it, right? I sit back with this pack of zigzags in this bag, right? Then notice he seamlessly continues his rhyme scheme while still building his story sentence wise, right? So your rap ear is getting satisfied, but you're also following everything he's saying from a storytelling perspective, right? So then again, like I said, he flips kind of the scheme again, right? So in this bag of this weed, it gives me the stuff needed to be the most dangerous MC, right? So it's still following the same rhyme structure. And then we go again, it just keeps flowing like seamlessly. And then we go from earth to curse and then tension, dispensing, sentence. Like this dude carries the rhyme. To me, it was like the rhythm of a boxer on the speed bag, right? Like that's how Eminem is with rap. You just constantly have that rhythm when you're on a speed bag, right? Like it's the same thing when Eminem is rapping. And really, again, if we're taking that speed bag analogy, it what does that sound like? A drum. And then what do drummers do? They stay in the pocket. Eminem is staying in his pocket even as he's flipping the rhyme scheme. All right, yeah, yeah, yeah. You tuned into the right podcast. In case you were questioning that. So yeah, like I said, I just think it's the effortless jump between rhymes. He's not just pulling them out of his butt, right? Like his story still flows. And like his message, I sit back with my papers ready to smoke, right? It helps me be the MC y'all have grown to love, and it helps me make money. But it also helps me deal with the stress of my lifestyle. Because here's the thing, in just these 7 lines, Eminem reveals to us that he has two outlets for the stress he's facing: smoking and rapping. And that's usually how it goes as humans, right? Like it seems like we have our healthy outlets and then ones that aren't so healthy. For example, you might be stressed and you love going to the gym. Or maybe you love getting shots up, right? Maybe you like taking walks. But then maybe you also struggle with an addiction, right? Whether that be smoking, drinking, overeating, something to that effect. And you can imagine for M, it may have been harder because one of his outlets also makes him money, right? So it can be hard to balance that as well. So we're kind of getting those already in verse 1. Within the first 7 lines, we're getting the early stages of that story and Eminem venting where he's at in life.